Hello chickens, welcome to my channel. Angela here today. Lovely Sunday morning. Bluish skies, so that's good, isn't it, in a cold season. I'm here today just to show you how I'm going to make some tabs for my Christmas journal. This is really the very last project that I'm going to do for this journal. I did bind it last night, so ooh, it's a chunky monkey, but really excited to share a flip through with you of this Christmas journal on Tuesday night, so into Wednesday, depending where you live in the world. So that's my plan. So I hope you're going to join me to see how I'm going to make these look as festive as I possibly can. So it's my last over-the-top project before I go back into pale pastel demure shades. So yeah, I'm ready for it. Okay, so what have I done? I've cut 6 pieces of fabric, about 2 inches this way, so 5 centimeters, and 2 3/4 inches that way, which is about 7 centimeters. All right, so just see what you have as far as your scraps are concerned. So I've taken these from my fabric scraps that I have over. Now you can see I've got a fold line in the middle. What we're going to do is we're going to fold them all in half and glue those together. There's no machine stitching with this. There is a little bit of hand stitching with this. So we just want to get some glue onto this, just to glue them in half so that you can see fabric on both sides. So that's my thinking. Yeah, now I use my pinking shears for the edges here, which I don't normally do, but I quite like the finish. So if you've got a pair of those, you know, I'm sure you do, it's probably one of the first pair of scissors if you were a person that sewed. So yeah, those are before the days of overlockers, wasn't it? So yeah, a great tool for crafting really, if you're not sewing or not. I mean, I use them more for crafting than sewing. I don't use them for sewing at all. So yeah, they've now moved into the craft room. Right, so we've got those like that, and I'll just do the rest. Okay, so we've got those all glued in half. So we've got our little bases now to put on some of our decorations. So I'm going to start off with a pretty easy one. We'll start off with this one. And what I've done is I've really used the scraps that I have over. So I'm going to just take this bit of lace and cut that off. I'm going to do it there so I can just trim the other end and use that. Now when you put this onto your page, whether it's this way or that way, just decide which way suits you. Bear in mind you need a glue section, so I would say halfway there really is your glue line, or maybe a little bit less than half. So what's that? About 1/2 inch, yeah? So that part I will actually glue that onto the underside of my page like that. Just trying to find something here. I've got a tag. So if that was your page, you're going to glue that onto the page like that. So that's the bit that will be visual. So just bear that in mind. And then on that side, you've got that. All right. So with that in mind, I am going to now glue this little piece of lace just across the top there. So decided this is the good side for me to use, so I'm going to just get that on. Now you could stitch this on, but a lot of work, so glue it is, and this is my fabric glue. Right, I'm going to make that the fold line of the fabric is on the side that I'm not going to glue. This is the raw edge that I'm going to glue to the page. So yeah, just get that right as well. Right, so we've got that there like that, and I'll trim all the bits off at the end. Is that pretty straight? There we go. Then I've got a little strip of rickrack. I'm going to put that, I think, just over here as well. This is really fun. I do love using these bits and pieces to make little decorative bits. I find it really nice and challenging. I don't know why, I am like that, but I am. Now, I did have some of my, well, I've got some of this here, and I thought I would, you know, add this, but not particularly for that one. I do have a little charm here, which I'm going to sew on, and I don't think I'm going to add this to this one, so we'll go with that. And then I'm going to just add a little charm on the side here. Now, you can do it at the top, or you can do it at the side. I think I'm going to go like that. So I'm going to just grab my needle and thread. This is just a couple of strands of embroidery thread. So I just want to make a bit of a knot, which I think I'm going to go in between these two, and I'm going to bring it out there just so that I don't have a stitch on the underside sticking out. And then I'm going to just attach it here. Like this. So just a quick little stitch with one of my charms. These charms were such a good buy on Amazon. I've used them for 3 Christmases and really gave such a great selection. I think they're on my Amazon favorite tools list. So I'm just going to do a little stitch there, and again up there. Now, what you can do is glue the charm down. You don't have to stitch it. And also what you can do is, when you stick this onto your page, you can stick a piece of just lace to cover any workings that you might have had. I'm just stitching that through. However, with this one, it's so busy, the pattern, that you wouldn't really see this. But I do have a little bit of lace, and once I've stuck that onto my page, so that's how it's going to go, turn it over, I can always just stick a piece of lace, you know, on this, well, it'll be this way, won't it? You know, just over there, something like that. One that fits, obviously. Or even, this just caught my eye. You know, you can even put a little die cut there on the underside of the page. It's all up to you. That one's a bit big, but this one's a bit smaller, you know. So whatever you decide to do. Right, so we've got one done there, and that's great. I like that. Now I'm going to go and do the next one. So I think I'll do this one. I've got a couple of bits of lace again. So again, here's the side that's going to go to the page. That's going to be on the edge of the page. So I've got some green and some red, and I thought I could layer this, but then I saw in my little tray there, I had a little scrap of this, and I quite like it. So I'm just seeing, this has to be my favorite fabric for Christmas. I love it. And I've only had really a little scrap. I quite like that. So I think I'm going to go with those two and cut that off over there, because you never know, I could use that for something else. So that's really what I am doing. I'm putting these together, and I've got some buttons for this one. So 2 little buttons, and I might tuck in a piece of gold. I might. I'm so wanting to put some of this gold on. That bit's a bit short, so we'll have to have a little bit of a long, and I'm going to try and put some of those on as well. So yeah, fun and games today. So let's just make this a bit longer, and then I can always trim it off, can't I? So this is going to be interesting. Right, so I'm going to take some of the fabric glue. Here again is the folded edge, so I want to get that pretty close on this side because I'm making a few layers. So we'll get the green one down first, like that. And these kinds of things are great to do last, because you've got all those little scraps that you want to utilize. So do we want to put a bit of this on, or is it just going to be OTT? Or if I stretch it that way, I think that's a good idea. Right, so I'm going to put that one on there, and then I'm going to put this one that side. Right, so it's just glue, and I'm going to look like a piece of tinsel when I'm finished here with all the sparkly bits that are floating around. So I'm going to just get some of that on there. This is really over the top, guys. Over the top. But it's Christmas, so who cares? Yeah? So I'm going to get a bit of that there. Don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. And then I'm going to get some of this, if it stops sticking to my hands. And we're making like a 3-color thing here to go with the fabric, really. Right, so loads of glue, and then I'm going to turn that around and stick that on the top here. Now hopefully when I stick this on the page, I can get the page to tuck underneath there, hopefully. Look how much is on here, on this little piece of fabric. Right, so let's just trim that off and trim that off. There we go. After all that, I wanted to put buttons on. Am I kidding myself or what? Well, we'll try. So I've got I think that's just going to be too much. So I did want to put buttons on here, but I'm not sure that's going to work, so we might have to come back to the buttons on there. Right, we'll let that one dry for a bit. I'll put the buttons over there. I can always go and add the buttons on the rear side of that, you know, once I've stuck it in. So I might do that. Might. Right, then we'll try the next one. So this one's a little bit simpler. Again, I'm using a little bit of the wider red lace. Here's my fold line. Got to be mindful of that. So this is easy. I'm going to stick that down. So let's get that down. I do like to make things complicated, but you know, if you don't try things, you're not going to know. So that's my go-to, and I'm sticking with it. Right, let's get that close to the edge there, a little bit further down there. Right, and then I got this really tiny narrow one, which I'm going to stick on this bit over here. And there we go. Oops. Right, we get this really nice narrow one, which is perfect, and I'm going to have the little red just peeking out behind it. So there we go. And probably best to trim them when they dry. Now, again, I had a little charm to put on there. I could put the buttons on here. Should we do that? I'm going to put the buttons on the back of that one. And this on here. Right. Let's get that stuck on there. A little diamond. How cute is that? So we'll get you stitched on. And as I say, you could just glue this down. It's really not too bad. It doesn't have to be stitched. Right, and then we'll just go a little bit along like that and cut that off and cut this off. There we go, 3 done. We're doing well. Right, here's a little bit with a bit of tartan ribbon. I'm going to get that stuck. This is the nice gold one over there. Now this might be a good one to put on some of these. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. Why not? Let's just cut off a few. and we'll see. I'm going to see how I go. Now it's possibly better to stitch this, I don't know. What am I like? How am I going to do this now? Right, I have all these ideas in my head. Ah, that's what I'm going to do. Right, let's stick this down. We'll stick the gingham ribbon down first. You know, half the time, these things sound great in my head. They don't always come to fruition though. You know, creative license, that's what I say. Right. I want to get that down, and again, that's your folded edge, so you want to keep that pretty much towards that side. Okay, like that. And now I don't want the pink one, but I do want those ones, and I think I'm going to try and stitch this. Heaven only knows how, but we'll give it a go. And then I can stick that bit over, can't I? So I'm going to try and do a couple of stitches here. So yeah, this one will probably need something on the other side. So I'm going to need to find a bit of trim to go on the other side. So I'm just going to grab that one there. Yeah. There we go. This isn't too bad. I cut myself. I've got cuts all over and broke nails and all sorts recently. What can you say? You know, these things just happen. Right, now we want to just get that down. It's going to need to drop a little bit because I'm going to put something else on there. So I'm going to let it sort of drop a little bit, and then I'm going to yeah, this is a fiddly one, guys. Once I've glued the little bit on the top, it'll be better, and I can arrange it how I want it. So I'm just putting little stitches here and there. There we go. And then again in between these two, and then I can pull the little lights where I want them afterwards, I think. But yeah, there we go. And then I just need to make one more stitch. Okay, that one done. I'm not going to thread that again. Right, let's see. Right, we'll cut that off. I don't want the pink one, so I'm going to cut that off. We've got this here, and it's just a case of rearranging it when I get to sticking these on. So I want one over there, I want two there, like this sort of thing. And then this one here is going to keep them all in line. This is my thinking, but heaven knows what's going to happen, you know. We just have to experience it and see. Right, so I'm going to get that in the middle there. I want to get this one there. I want to get that one there. And this one here. Something like that. And I think those ones are a bit loose, but we can pull them along there. So this is a very fiddly one, guys. I will apologize for that. And I would encourage you to get out your little clips as well. Cut this off here. And we'll stick this on this one. There we go. So we've got a lot of clips going on, but that'll dry in place. Do make things difficult, don't I? Right, this is the red one now. And much simpler. I'm going to put, here's the fold line, so we want to change that round. We want to stick that across the top there. I do love this fabric as well. I hope everybody's all right. And, you know, I know most of us, or a lot of us, let's say, see our family over Christmas. But I was reading something Brenda had on Facebook yesterday. Thank you, Brenda. Which is a good reminder for all of us that not all of us do spend Christmas with some family or friends. A lot of us, a lot of people spend Christmas alone, and that is a really hard, Christmas is a really hard time of the year, or not just Christmas, but the whole festive season, you know. So I want you to know that if you are on your own, I'm thinking of you. I really am. My thoughts are with you. I really hope that you are watching a video or something, or able to do something to keep yourself busy. I wish that I could find all those people and, you know, bring them all together all over the world and have a Christmas with you. Honestly, I do. Because I think it's so sad. Also, people have lost their loved ones, you know, lots of people, and Christmas is also really hard for them. So I do understand that, and I send you all a big virtual hug and Christmas blessings. My heart is with you, honestly. I couldn't think of anything worse, but yeah, that's the reality, isn't it? It's just awful for so many. So I do feel very blessed. Yeah. I was saying to somebody the other day, I'm a shy person, funny enough. I am. And I always make my own Christmas dinner for my 2 children, but it's just the 3 of us usually. And I often wonder, are there people in my street? I don't know them, obviously, because I don't really know many of the neighbours, even though I've lived here a long time. Or who are those people? And I wish I did know who they were so I could just, you know, have them over. I just hate to think that people are sitting on their own, day in and day out. It's really sad. I used to do charity support work for Aged UK, which helps a lot with that. But I don't know that about a sort of a option to find out who are the people around you, you know. Yeah, very sad for many people. There we go. Right, this little one. It does look funny, doesn't it? Right, this one I've got a little gold button, another little thin strip of lace, and then I found this scrap left over from my mini journal. Looks like a centipede, doesn't it? Right, so here's the folded side again, and I thought I'd put on a little bit of this and somehow this. We'll glue those down. Let's do that. So yeah, all right, so I've just stuck those on. I'm going to sew on this nice glitter button just over here, I think. And you can add more than one, but I think that's quite glitzy. Let me just run this a little bit along. All right. Hands are very tacky. Right, I want to just cut that off and that off. There we go. Right, so we have got all those pretties there. I quite like how that's turned out. Just need to take off these. There we go, that middle bit's stuck down nicely. And I really like how that one's turned out. There's a bit of the OTT, but yeah, it's stuck now. That's good. So we've got our 6 little tabs. Now, the way that you stick these on is really simple. I'll just grab my journal here. I would start at the top, but I just wanted to show you, for example, if I was going to put it onto this page here, I'm just giving you an example. You would just turn that around, yeah? You would put glue there and stick it there like that, yeah? That's what you're going to do. And I would move them. So I'd have one there, and then I'd have one, for example, in the middle, and then one at the end. I'm going to do that for each of the signatures. All right, you can see my journal's just setting. I've stuck it all down, and I'll what I do is I've sewn it all in, I've glued it all in, and tomorrow when it is dried, I leave it overnight, then I will fold these sides up, and it'll be done. And then it's just a case of the tassels, the tabs, and then the tassel that we made before. So that is it for the Christmas journal. I have added the project for the page I shared with you last time about the tea stain page with the narrow fold over and everything. So I'll share that with you in the flip through. And the sewing in of the signatures, I've added that as well. So everything is there. It's just a case of sticking these on where you want them. And we're all done. Ready to add in your Christmas photos, everything that you wanted to add from the Christmas day, and document everything that happens as well. All right, everyone, I will see you on Tuesday. There are still a couple of Christmas kits in my website shop. So if you were looking for an ultimate bundle or some ribbon bundles or lace, you can still find that there. They're on a great offer. So just the last couple. And I also have just the last couple of the letters for a lady bundles as well. So be sure to pick those up. I will be sending those out this coming Tuesday and Wednesday. So that will be that, and then I will have one more video on Friday, which will be items you need to gather for your letters for a lady project that we're going to start when I'm back in the new year. I will be taking a break between Christmas and New Year, but I'll keep you busy with all of that. All right, I also need to yeah, well, that's about it. I'll tell you the rest when I see you. Right, have a great Sunday. See you all soon. Bye-bye.